Everybody. Where are you, everybody? So it's me and Feluke here tonight. And so I know a lot of you are a little lost. And I don't know what to do to get you caught up. And so I know Feluke and I were just talking that, she's having trouble even just carving out time and finding time to do a serious study. So I just thought tonight we would do another intensive review over all the cards, the majors and the minors, hoping that one of these days some of this information will stick. So I'm just going to jump right in here and go to the share screen and go to the magician. And so here we go. All right, the magician. Let's take a look at him. He is facing forward. So he's saying, I'm confident enough to take you on. So he is a card of confidence. And where is his confidence? In his ability to manifest. And so when you get the magician in the reading, he is telling you, if you want changes in your life, if you want things done differently in your life, then it's time to manifest a different story and to bring your dreams into reality. And so he is confident. He's also the communicator. So he communicates his dream world to the universe. So concentration, he's very focused. And so, let's say you want a new house or you want a new job. He's saying we need to harness our energy. We need to harness our consciousness and our concentration and focus on bringing this new change into reality. And so he rules communication. He communes with the holy to accept the holy seed. He is confident. He's also concentrated, so he's very focused. He is the communicator of all the cards. And so whenever you get him in a reading, he may be telling you something about your dream may be communicated to you through a synchronicity moment or some positivity outcome. And so he does rule the world. The Wheel of Fortune. And remember, the Wheel of Fortune is a 10. That's why it's related to the magician, who is a 1. So he's as above, so below, heaven on earth. And so he brings in the holy dreams and the holy purpose into the earth reality. And whenever you get the Wheel of Fortune, you should know something is going to change. And you should always look to the cards after the wheel to find out if the change is going to be positive or negative. 75% of the time, it's going to be a positive change. There might be a situation where it's not going to be positive. And so, it serves then as a warning, because you can still make some choices and decisions to figure out how to make it more of a positive turn. The sun is also next. The sun is God's blessing. So whenever you get the sun in your reading, that sun is telling you, have no fear, have faith. God is here. You're going to get up on this horse. You're going to be victorious. You're going to receive blessings. So all 3 of these cards serve as blessings in your reading. Now, the magician rules the aces, which is the symbol for the number 1. And the Ace of Wands, remember, is energy, direction, movement. The Ace of Wands can symbolize a boy child, obviously, because it's a wand. As far as the timing goes, it rules August through mid-December. It is a new beginning in thought or inspiration, or what I call a spontaneous psychic pop. of a new idea that comes in that inspires you and awakens you and gives you a whole new direction in which to focus your attention. The Ace of Cups rules March, April, May. It is also symbolic for a female child. The Ace of Cups has to do with emotion and also spirit. And so, as you can see, the hand is offering the Ace of Cups. Your cup overfloweth. So spirit comes in and says, you know, I'm attempting to bring you some positive, wonderful emotion that's going to make you feel good. The Ace of Swords is one of the most powerful cards in the deck. The only other card that can match it would be the Tower. The Ace of Swords is power and elimination. Anything that blocks the dream from coming in, or anything that needs to be released before the dream can come in. This is also a card of serious focus, almost obsession. It is a card of writing as well. For instance, you need to write your book or write down your affirmations. It rules December, January, and February. The Ace of Pentacles is a new beginning in how money comes to you. This incoming money can happen through work, or it can just be a serendipitous moment where you win the lottery ticket, but it's money that's just handed to you from the universe. It rules May, June, July. Now the tens are also included with the Magician because 1 + 0 is 1. So the Magician rules the tens. The 10 is a fulfillment. It is a level of attainment. And so when you reach the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups, it is an attainment of financial attainment or emotional happiness and joy. The 10 of Wands is you're going to have to do the work yourself. He pushes through. Talks about, you know, I have to do it by myself, but I'm willing to do it. I'll take it on. I'll get it done. It can be the card that shows that you're overwhelmed in some area in your life. The only way out of that 10 of Wands is to delegate some of those sticks. But do you trust the people you are delegating to? Will they get it done satisfactorily? Will you be happy with what they're doing? It is also covering the lack of inspiration, the lack of energy, of being unfulfilled in some area in your life. For instance, the lack of love. The 10 of Cups is the happy, happy, joy card. The 9 of Cups, remember, represents self is happy. Self is making self happy, whereas the 10 of Cups is shared happiness. You share your happiness with other people or family. It is a wedding card, a gathering of family card. All the cups are filled. They're in rainbow and butterfly land. There's homes on the hill. There's children, there's pets. So the 10 of Cups is great fulfillment on an emotional level. That 10 of Swords is not. That 10 of Swords is similar to the Death card, except another sword can fall unless you're willing to give it up, to put it to rest. The 10 of Swords is a activity or action or situation that has been existing for some time. You know it's not the best thing for you, but you still persist in hanging on to it. Remember, it comes from the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords says, this is something we need to let go of. But the Ten of Swords says, but I don't wanna. And so you still carry those swords until those Ten of Swords end up betraying you. Then you'll let it go. So you're going to choose to suffer to the nth degree, but you knew better. So you're going to do it anyway. I call this the paper cut card. Been there, done that. Don't keep doing it over and over and over and over again. This is, what I get a lot for women who won't let the bad boys go. He stands her up. He's cheated on her. He's taken her money. He's been disrespectful. He's been controlling. He has anger issues. But see, she keeps putting up with it and putting up with it and putting up with it and forgiving and keeps taking the trespasses over and over and over again. She knew better. She should have stopped at the first sword. But she herself is unhealed. It could be a codependent, could be a fixer. My love will make him better. No, that Ten of Swords is, you knew it all along. Now the writing's on the wall, the swords have fallen, and so now you know where you stand, and you don't. So the Ten of Swords is a card that, if you see it in your reading, hopefully it's out in the future, so you have time to correct the situation by letting go. If you wait till it gets in closer into your reading, then you're truly going to suffer. The Ten of Pentacles is the happy, happy, joy, joy card as far as money. You got the house loan, you're moving in, you got the job on the hill. It's truly your heaven on earth and your dream come true. But once again, just like the Ten of Cups, where emotion is shared with others, you also share the money with others. This could also be the inheritance card. Unfortunately, somebody may have to leave in order for you to attain the money in this card. So this is the Magician, who, when you get him in a reading, he's going to say you need to manifest. You need to put focused application in bringing your dreams into reality. What are your dreams? The dreams are found in these aces. Inspiration, energy, focus, emotion, and love and spirit. Direct focus and attention and elimination. And direct focus and attention on earning money or bringing in a source of income. And the Ten of Wands, being willing, even though it's overwhelming, being willing to stay the course and see it to the nth degree. And the Ten of Cups, happy, happy, joy, joy, as far as shared with your family or a lover, you're getting married. The Ten of Swords is knowing you should have let it go a long time ago, and so you've suffered the consequences and the trespasses and the paper cuts. The Ten of Pentacles is your money situation and getting your dream home and getting the house on the hill and your perfect job. Goodness, so sorry, I had to yawn. All right. So Luke, any questions about that?
I do. You mentioned something about it being in the future, like if you get the Ten of Swords, just pray it's in the future so that you can make changes before it happens. Yes. But how do you know, how are you able to tell the timeline?
Well, when we get into the Celtic Cross, and that's a good question. When we get into the Celtic Cross, which will actually begin, I think, next week, the third class, it's either next Tuesday or the week after. There's 10 cards that are laid out in a cross and a line.
Okay.
Each card symbolizes a specific condition. Any card after the 10th card, which I'm a curious kitten, I always lay out about another 7 cards after the 10th card. And so if that 10 of swords is out there, then you're going to look at your aces or whatever other timing card you have inside your reading, and that'll give you an idea when you can expect those last swords to fall.
Okay.
For instance, you may have the Ace of Swords in your reading, so that will tell you December, January, February. Or you'll have one of the other aces, or you'll have the 2 of Swords, which is 2 weeks, or you'll have the 9 of Wands, which is a month. And so we'll be learning these things the next 2 months. We're going to be learning the timing and the placement and the arrangement of the Celtic spread.
Okay.
So if your 10 of Swords is out there in the future, you can stop it from coming in. But usually the only way to stop it is to let go of something that's causing you issues and problems.
And the dates associated with the cards, like the Ace of Swords is December.
Fluke, honey, can I see you pretty please? I can't read your lips. There you are.
Yeah, I apologize. So I was asking like the dates associated with the cards, what do they mean? Are they part of the timeline as well?
Yeah.
Okay, like the months or so. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have like an Ace of Swords in your reading, for example, then what that symbolizes is most likely going to occur in like December, February, January. Okay.
Yeah. And also the other cards around it can also determine timing. For
Okay.
instance, if you get the Ace of Swords in the Tower, it's going to come fast and it's going to come swift and it's going to come out of the blue.
Okay.
Or the Ace of Swords and the Hangman, that means a spiritual lesson is going to come rather quickly.
What does the Hangman symbolize? What does the Hangman symbolize?
Oh, we're getting there.
Okay, we're not there yet. Okay.
All right, so we're going on to the High Priestess. And so just as the Magician rules the crown chakra and the consciousness, so up here, he rules awaken, you're connected. The High Priestess rules the subconscious. And so she rules your intuition. She is also, she sits between 2 pillars of dark and light, Binah and Juno, which is the mind and the heart, and also the shadow and the light. And so the High Priestess, whenever you get her in your reading, you know that you need to use your intuition in order to ferret out an answer to something. Remember, she's a spiritual teacher, she's a healer, but she's also the revealer. And so you want to look to cards after her as to what is going to be revealed. So you get her in a reading and she's going to tell you to use your intuition or to use your tarot cards or to look at astrology. So she's here to tell you that it isn't always mind over matter, that we also need to go into the unseen and unknown to feel our way through a situation. She is the number 2, which also rules justice. Justice is number 11, which is the 1 + 1 is 11. And justice, the High Priestess, is supposed to be a fair witness. In other words, she intuits it, but she doesn't have judgment about it. There's no judgment, there's no criticism. She's a fair witness. She is laissez-faire. I don't care what I get, I'll just use it for my betterment. Now, the Justice card, remember, is the weighing out of a decision. It doesn't mean court unless you get it with Judgment or the King of Swords, the Ace of Swords. All of that can mean court appearance and judgment. So the Justice card is also karma. And so you want to look after the Justice card to see if that karma is what kind of karma is it? Is it going to be emotional or love or money? And is it going to be dharma? Dharma means it's good and positive. You'll be blessed and given two positive blessings. So when you get the Justice card in your reading, it will also tell you, is there any legal papers you need to do? Is all your insurance is up to date? So he appears to make you think about, have I gotten all my ducks in a row? Have I completed all my responsibilities? All my insurance is paid, or all my legal documents submitted? So like he can also rule taxes and insurance and courts. Do you have a will? Or are you ferreting out a decision? So of course that would come with these twos, the Two of Wands, Two of Swords, Two of Pentacles. Are you trying to make a decision about something? So if you get the Justice card on the table, he's going to say, see, he's sitting in front of two pillars too. So it needs to be the mind and the heart. It needs to be the shadow and the light. And you need to keep your balance, so your emotions need to be balanced. And he's holding a sword, so it needs to come from mental clarity. Judgment is on the table. That's when you know you're going to earn your feathers. Most all Judgment cards have a tombstone or a death representative of it. Of course, you've seen this angel in Temperance. And you see it too in the Two of Cups. And Judgment means you have been through pretty much hell on earth, and you've had to give up things that you didn't want to give up. But you've seen the higher benefit of it, and so you've given it up willingly. And so that's when you earn your feathers. So it is like those 10 of Swords. With Judgment in the same reading as the 10 of Swords, you knew there was something you had to give up. And when you give it up, it's going to shift you into a higher truth and a higher consciousness and a better way. But obviously it's going to hurt. It's not something that you want to give up. So it could be a relationship or something your family does. For instance, an example of this would be my own family. Giving up a family of racist and white supremacists to stand on my own against such a dark force. I would be rendered with judgment, but I would also be liberated from their insanity. And so whenever you get Judgment, it's God saying, you did good. You did good. You chose the higher way. You took the higher path. You suffered for it, but good for you. Good on you. You chose the light instead of the darkness. And so whenever you get Judgment in your reading, it was a card that I didn't quite understand for a long time. It's kind of something you have to experience. It means that you've given up something that is part of a tradition. It's part of old patterns. It's part of old wounds. It's part of your old thinking. but you've chosen to let it die. And now you rise. And so it was judgment, temperance, the flames began, your flames begin to burn. Whenever you get judgment, judgment is the phoenix now rises out of the fire. So you are no longer burning, you are risen. The Two of Wands, remember those wands is a new direction, a new thought, a new potential. So whenever you get the Two of Wands, he's holding a stick in his hand, but he's also holding the world in his other. And the universe is saying, you can stay with the old stick, but we think you're good enough to step up. So we encourage you to step up, to step out, to step into a higher arena, to step into that higher job, to take the relationship into monogamy or a higher level of relating. A lot of times the twos will bring in more than one person. So you may be thinking, oh, did I lose you, Fluke? You may be thinking of a partnership. Excuse me, I'm tired tonight. And so I'm in here by myself now. And so the Two of Wands is the universe encouraging you to step up, to get out of the dugout and go pick up that stick and go do something with it, that you're confident enough, you've earned your wisdom, and you now have the ability to step into a bigger arena. That Two of Cups is mutual and equal. You found a kindred friend. She may be female, but she's kindred. You feel such a great connection with her. Or you could find soulmate. It's kindred. He likes you as much as you like him. It is mutual and equal. And so when you get the Two of Cups in a reading, it is usually a relationship or a partnership. The Two of Cups over the Lover's card is more of a love relationship. The Two of Swords is being undecided about something between your mind and your heart. You're confused, and it usually takes 2 days to 2 weeks to come out of this confusion. Your mind and heart have to be together. Okay, there you are. All right. Welcome back, honey. Your mind and heart has to be together. So in other words, your mental and your emotional must be one. If your mental and emotional feelings are not in sync, then the answer is no. And if you still feel this way after 2 weeks, then the answer is probably no. So it's being hung up in a decision that will require some mental thought on your part and emotional feeling on your part. Your mind and your heart are saying 2 different things. This and that with the Two of Pentacles, whereas the Two of Wands is the exclusion of something, the Two of Swords is an exclusion of something, the Two of Pentacles is an inclusion of something. You're going to be doing 2 things, a job and school, job and home, or 2 jobs, having to work 2 jobs to make ends meet. Because of the beach, this is another thing, the Two of Wands and the Two of Pentacles have him standing on a beach. It can mean travel. For instance, you have to travel for work since it's a pentacle. For the most part, this is a positive card. It says that you can juggle whatever opportunity is coming your way and not to be afraid of it. So the Two of Wands is you can stay with what you have, or you can pick up something else. So you can step up. The Two of Cups is mutual and equal, fulfilling for both. The Two of Swords is stuck between your mind and your heart. You're not too sure which one to choose. The answer is no until you come in sync. And so you usually have to wait for clarity for this decision to happen. This and that is the inclusion of two things that you're juggling and making time for. And so you may be in a relationship, but you're going to have to juggle your schedules in order to make time for one another. Okay. Third thing is the Empress. The Empress is the married woman or the mother card. So when you get her in the reading, you're going to have to figure out, is it you, or is it your mother, or is it you as a mother? She rules the threes, and remember, the aces are singular focuses, the twos are decisions and choices, the threes are expansion. And so she is pregnant, and so she expands and fertilizes whatever seed that wand comes up with, and she expands it, she grows it, she evolves it. She's also pregnant, so, do you want children? Are you in danger of having children? Are you doing protected sex, or are you unprotected? She's rather simple. The Hangman, for a long time, this card eluded me too. The Hangman is God's no. I don't want you doing that. That's not for your highest good. So you are put in spiritual time out. Now, the Hangman and Temperance are both very similar. As soon as you sacrifice what God doesn't like in your life, you get off the tree. That's your timing. The timing is relatively unknown. You can be a hangman for days, months, or years. If you're unwilling to sacrifice what God doesn't want you to have, usually it's a bad boy relationship, you're stuck on the tree. So it's a spiritual time out. God doesn't want you there. You have to sacrifice something. Whereas that Ten of Swords, no, the Four of Swords, the Four of Swords is a sacrifice of time and energy, but you don't have to sacrifice an idea for it. So the Hangman is really a crucifixion of a dream, or a crucifixion of a choice or a decision that you don't want to give up. So there's sorrow with the Hangman. I don't want to give it up. I don't want to give them up. But you have to in order to move forward. The World is culmination. It's coming full circle in life. It is bringing a situation to close. For instance, you've been in college, you've graduated, so you would probably get the World. A big era for you is changing. It is also the world itself, the planet and people and humanity. It also symbolizes 1 year. Now, the Three of Wands has to do with computers. So you don't know if he's watching his ship leave or watching for his ship to come in. So the Three of Wands is including, the threes are usually inclusions. is including perhaps someone or something else in the decision of the Two of Wands. It's expansion. For you to, in order for you to know, for you to be able to do your dream, you need to include somebody else in that decision. This card particularly rules computers, studying online, like an online class, or a message that comes from your email or online. The Three of Cups. The Three of Cups, once again, is expansion into multiple people or animals or pets. The Three of Cups is a gathering of people for celebration. They're happy to be together. They're celebrating an event. So it's a happy occasion. This card is usually pretty happy. This card can rule pets. And so it can also rule children, like if there's 2 or 3 children in a marriage or a relationship. Going out, being social, having fun. The Three of Swords is the intrusion or inclusion of something that you don't want. It can be another person. You know, your husband's having conversations with someone at work, you know, his work wife. Maybe they get just getting a little bit too close for your satisfaction. This card can portend an affair, especially with the Queen of Wands and another court card. It can also be wow. It can also be construction in the house. And I do apologize. When I did blood tests, they discovered I am like seriously anemic, but I can't get help until next week. And it's really affecting my brain. I am just very tired. Really not too much I can do about it either. I've had the weight loss surgery and I no longer absorb iron. So I do apologize. I think you're witnessing the effects of that. And so the Three of Swords, not necessarily an affair, but like an event that happens, like football season starts, or you're married to a military person and they get deployed. So a lot of times, you know, it is a separation from something you don't want to be separated from. The Three of Pentacles is your priorities. This is concentration and focus. What's the most important things in your life? What has great value in your life? And you need to concentrate on that. So Spirit is always telling me, what's your priority today? So I get this card a lot. This card versus the Eight of Pentacles is the mastery card. It's telling you, do you need to go on and get your bachelor's? Do you need to go on and get your doctorate? So you become the mastery of something. Therefore, you are looked upon for directions and credence and wisdom. You're the it person. People come to you. And so this is also perhaps gathering a team under you. You've been promoted. You got your first sales team. Okay, so look, any questions about those threes?
Not about the 3 part. I just kind of noticed a pattern here. So there's like each like I don't even know the word to use, like set of cards, or do they have like the numbers? Like you have the 3 of Cups, the 2 of Cups. Do they all the numbers have like Wands, Cups, Swords, and Pentacles? So the 2s will have Wands, Cups, Swords, and Pentacles. The 3s would. and the fours have the same? Wands, cups, swords, and pentacles?
Okay, I'm not understanding what you're asking.
So I just noticed that, like, you talked about the twos, right? The twos, and then you mentioned the twos have this two of pentacles, the twos of swords, and the two of cups, and the two of wands. And then you have the three, and then you have three of wands, the three of cups, the three of swords, and the three of pentacles. So like the fours also have the four of wands, cups, swords, and pentacles. The five have five swords. Okay.
Yeah,
That's just,
those are called suits.
Suits, okay.
Your wand is inspiration, it's energy, it's thoughts.
Okay.
Your cups are emotion and spirituality, messages from God and so on.
Okay.
The swords are elimination, but also highly focused, it's thinking, highly focused thinking, almost like I said, obsession. The pentacles rules money and job and material things.
Okay.
All of the minors rule mundane daily living. Whereas if you notice, the major arcanas rule the archetypes, it rules personalities, it rules situations and conditions. And the minors rule your daily life. That's why I like them. Gives me more detail and information.
Let's see.
All right, now the fours are ruled, of course, by the Emperor. And the Emperor is a married man or father. And the Emperor in your reading, so you're gonna have to figure out, is it a married man or is it my father or is it me? And so to a female, the Emperor is gonna say, girl, you need to get it done. Right? Take care of your safety, take care of your protection, take care of your money, take care of your home, take care of your job. And so he is the director, he's the doer, he's the discipline. He and females, he's also, he is teaches you your self-worth and your self-value. So he's going to say, you need to take care of your kingdom. Do you have everything you need? Is all your needs being met? Do you have to do something to make your life better in order for you to be prosperous and successful? So when you get him in a reading, like I don't have a husband nor a father anymore. So it obviously pertains to me. And he's going to say, get her done. You're procrastinating or you're ignoring, or you need to take care of your budget. You need to go pay those bills. The Death card is just that. It's an end of something. The Ten of Swords, the situation can reoccur again. The World, there's closure, but it can reoccur again. The Death card is not, it's done and over with, and it rules 3 days to 6 months. So the Death card comes into your life, and it's, I like to call this card transformation. Something is going to be changed. A lot of times we may not like to change, so you always want to look after the Death card to see what's changing. And the Emperor rules the Four. Of course, the Four is the platform. It's the launch pad. It's the foundation. So the Four of Wands is your traditional marriage card. It's, maybe somebody's getting proposed to. I also call it the card of moving in. So, you know, your beloved may ask you to move in, or you move in with them. It is a harmony card. It means everybody who's living together in that home is happy and in joy and peace and harmony. The Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is emotional unavailability, whereas the Eight of Cups is emotional detachment. You had the emotion, you're letting it go. This one, this is your avoidant retardant. This is people offer them love, or offer them a situation, offer them something wonderful, and they're so wounded or so damaged that they can't reach for it. It's also a card of mild depression. I call it the funk card. You're just emotionally not interested. You used to enjoy those cups, you don't enjoy them anymore. So I'll explain that again. This is your emotionally unavailable card. You're not interested in feeling, you're not interested in, you're not able to receive very well. This could be anything. People have offered to help you and you're just not getting it, you're not taking it, you're not reaching out. The Four of Swords is another type of card, whereas the Hangman is a spiritual timeout. God says, I don't like that, you need to stop. The Four of Swords is a physical timeout. You get sick, you get the flu, you get a cold, sinus infection. This was my original COVID card, but it's also my vitamin deficiency card. Now you see the Three of Swords, the Three of Swords is hanging over his head. So this card serves as a warning. If you don't change and make some decisions, you're liable to be separated from something. Good job loss or unavailable for socializing. So the Four of Swords is a physical timeout. Once again, these two cards preclude the fives, and the Five of Cups is depression. So the Four of Cups and the Four of Swords serve as a warning. You're in a funk. You need to shake it off. The Four of Swords is stressed. You're so tired, you don't want to think about it anymore. The Four of Pentacles is the sit on it card. Sit on your money. Don't be spending your money. Save your money. You need to be very focused. You want that house. You need to focus mentally, emotionally, and physically. You need to bring that into harnessment and concentration so you will have money to go and buy the car or the house that you're wanting. Whereas the Nine of Pentacles says we can do shopping therapy. The Four of Pentacles says stay on budget. Don't be spending. You need to cut back. You need to focus and save your money. It also has to do with space. So it could have something to do with a home or an office building. All of the fours are space holders. The Four of Wands is the space holder for harmony. The Four of Cups is the space holder for positive potential, and you're not looking at it. The Four of Swords is a space holder for you need a weekend, you need a time out, you need some time down. Turn off the TV and the electronics and go away for a weekend. The Four of Pentacles is a space holder for money to increase or literally a physical living space. Okay, any questions about those? Okay. All right, fives. And y'all know how I feel about the fives. The fives are not pleasant cards. They're not. And they're ruled by the Hierophant. So, you know, we are to have faith and we are to take the high road when we encounter these fives. The fives come in with challenges, and you know, and I call them fuck up your life fives, and because that's exactly what they do. They fuck up your life. You know, there's no easier or better way to say it. But the Hierophant says when we encounter challenges, we must listen to the higher voice, take the higher path. You know, because a lot of these cards have to do, are we causing the problem or are we the victim of the problem? Either way, you have to take the high road. Now, he also works with temperance. Temperance was a card I just really didn't get very well until they gave me an experience. Temperance is pretty much the earth angel gets the feathers burned off of him. You know, they have 1 foot in the water, which is emotion, and 1 foot on land. We have the sun rising in the background, but it's far away. We have 2 irises, so it may involve a relationship of some sort. This is very similar of the 2 of swords, of the mind and heart coming together. And when you get the temperance card in a reading, it means you must be in moderation. You cannot do one extreme or the other. Your mind and heart must be one. Your mental must be coupled with emotion. Your intuition must be coupled with analysis and rational thinking. Your male and your inner female must be in balance. Temperance also rules, of course, drinking, the 5 of Cups. And so balance the drinking. The Temperance card is one of the worst cards actually in the deck. You are being spiritually tested. Remember, it comes after that Hangman and Death card. You've been hung, you've been crucified, you had to give something up that you didn't want to give up, and that you incurred a death and a loss. You're usually in sorrow and grief. And then you want me to balance? And that's what the Temperance is saying. You're too emotional or you're too mental. It needs to be a balance. This is where the Earth Angel earns their wings, because you've been tested spiritually. The 5 of Wands. Arguments, conflicts. It can be conflicts of schedules. It can be too many people are giving you too many opinions and influences. It can be too much competition. It can be the working mother who also, when she gets home, has to drive 3 children to 3 different events. There's just too much going on. I get this card when I've overscheduled myself. And that's pretty much what it means. There's not enough energy to go around, or there's too much energy coming in. The only way out of this card is for you to take the high road and make that decision and delegate. The 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups rules major disappointment, an expectation that was not fulfilled. It also rules depression and borderline personality disorders. It rules alcoholism and addiction. It can rule needing medicine, but you compensate with too much pot, too much drink. You're not happy. Excuse me, you're not happy in life, so you're overly indulging. The only way out of the Five of Cups is to get up and to be in gratitude, because he does have 3 cups standing. The Five of Swords. This is my smiling snake card. This is the narcissist card. It can be an overt narcissist, which is in your face, I'm so much better than you, or the covert narcissist, which is, I'm always the victim. Nothing good will ever happen to me. And so they run their life from the wound. This is a card of manipulation. This is a card of deception. This is a card of being controlled. This is a card of you being a codependent and you're allowing it. That 10 of Swords, paper cut after paper cut after paper cut. You know damn well the person isn't treating you good, but you stand and take it. This is also where you have to kind of point the finger at you. Are you so controlling? Do you need to have that last word? Do you need to be right? Do you need to be the star? That people don't even want to be around you anymore. The Five of Pentacles. This is considered the worst card of the deck, other than the Tower. You get them both together and it can mean bad stuff. Tower and the Five of Pentacles is bankruptcy. That's how I knew mine was coming. It's the card of lack, and it can be spiritual lack, feeling hopeless and alone and despondent and despairing. It can be job loss. It can be health. But notice, you can get help. All they have to do is go outside the church, go inside the church. So they're outside the church, but they won't go in. And so this is why it's also a spiritual card. It's spiritual impoverished. Not feeling that they deserve to get help or to be warm or to be fed. But the Five of Pentacles is, you know, the worst of anything. And if you couple it with the Tower, it can be hell on earth. The Nine of Swords, great despair and anguish. So we're always very grateful for the sixes, which are ruled by the Lovers and the Devil. All right, the Lovers has to do with love, but it also has to do with your inner authority, your inner father, hunter, warrior, pairing with the inner goddess, mother, warrioress. The father is the emperor. He's the getter done. You need to stay on budget. You need to protect yourself in your home. Or we need a new job, so he sends the hunter out to go get a new job. And the warrior, where you need to physically protect yourself. Or your window's locked, your door's locked. Don't be parking under that dark lamp. The goddess receives her inspiration from the holy. The mother says you need to take your vitamins. You need to don't allow him to disrespect you that way. And the warrioress, of course, no one disrespects the goddess. So that is the sacred conjunctio. That's your inner authority. That is the person becoming sovereign and their own authority. And this is one of the most powerful cards in the deck. If you allow your inner empowerment to come together, then you will not look to the outside for validation, and that's where the devil comes in. Where do you cause yourself problems? It's you. You go out with that bad boy. You keep taking those paper cuts. You don't stand in your truth and in your boundaries and in your authority. You keep letting the devil have his way with you. And he rules predominantly despair, depression, procrastination, and addictions. So where does that fall? Do you have depression? Do you do too much shopping therapy? Do you have a huge debt and credit cards? The sixes are temporary rescue. They are here to say, okay, we understand you've been through the five, so take a breath, take a beat. And the sixes are here to help, but they are temporary. Well, so with that Six of Wands, this is a card where there's a minor that has no negative. This is, you get the job, you get the promotion, you are looked on with great kudos and admiration and status. You ride the white horse. But now they expect you to do something. And so you're on that horse, so you better learn to ride. But once again, remember, it's temporary. You won the interview. You got hired. You got the extra money. Now all eyes are going to be on you. And so you need to fulfill this. So in other words, you can't get lazy. The Six of Cups. The Six of Cups rules predominantly children and pets. It also rules past lives, because the Devil and Lovers is a past life. Karma, negative karmic past life with someone. So the Six of Cups has to fall in here, especially when you get it with the moon, that you've had past lives with the person. It's also the pleasuring card. You know, the devil rules pleasure, sex, and sensuality, and indulgent, and addiction. So are you enjoying a little bit too much of any of that? It's also receiving a gift out of the blue. It is a return of someone from the past into present moment. So now that we're in Mercury retrograde, we all got to watch our exes coming back. I know mine ain't coming back, but you know, the rest of you may have a bit of a problem. The Six of Swords now is very similar to the Hangman. You sacrifice. You've been in stress. You've been in about 6 weeks of serious stress. There's no way out. It's very similar to that Three of Swords, in that you had to separate yourself from something or someone that you did not want to separate yourself from. But that was the only way out. So you left that job, you left that stressful job. You may not even have another job lined up, but you're so beat down and you're so stressed that you're just willing to go, oh, I gotta leave. Because if you notice in the Six of Swords, that you can't see the shore. They don't even know where they're going. And I always had a problem. Well, wait a minute, why are those swords sticking in the bottom of the boat? That means you're going to have to go fast. Okay, you got about 6 weeks of reaching that shore, because those swords are going to start leaking. So it's a card of stress. It's a card of reality versus what you want. Are you going to die at a job that you absolutely hate? Are you going to be willing to take a risk and take that chance and set yourself free so you can go and look for a new job? So this is a card that says in about 6 weeks, the stress will be gone. But once again, remember, those sixes are rescue and they're temporary. So you've only got about 6 weeks. The Six of Pentacles. You either have to give money or you are getting money. You really can't tell which one is going on here. The Six of Pentacles is working part-time, whereas the Eight and Nine of Pentacles is full-time employment. The Six of Pentacles is having just enough money. You know, you needed $300 to be able to pay your rent. Suddenly a friend from 2 years ago, oh man, I owe you $3, $300, and they give you the money. Or I remember I had a situation once where my life insurance went from stocks to bonds or something. And so they earned money. So I just got this $500 check in the mail, which is exactly what I needed to pay the mortgage of my old house. So once again, you have just enough. You can't spend anything extra. Every dime you have coming in has an outgo on it. So this is a temporary rescue. You need to either go get another part-time job or you need to step up into full-time. Okay, any questions about the sixes? Good?
No.
Okay. All right, the sevens. Sevens, of course, are ruled by the Chariot. And the Chariot is a victory card as well as Temperance. It is number 7 in the octave. The first octave, if you remember right, were the archetypes and the personalities of mankind. The second octave, which is strength through temperance, is the inner workings of mankind. And the third octave, which is the devil through the world, is outside influences that come in that cause changes or transformations. So the Chariot is a victory card. So the magician and the high priestess gets to ride in the Chariot. You've harnessed your inner male and female. You've harnessed your mind with your emotion. You've harnessed your mental ability with your creativity. So now it's very temperance. Everything isn't blended. Everything is together. I call this card, get a grip, get control, and get going. This card can also rule a vehicle. And if you notice, the red symbol there on the shield is a Shiva lingam. The penis and the vagina, basically, it is an East Indian symbol of united as one. Your male and female is in the divine union, the sacred conjunctio. Now, the Chariot in particular rules daytime fear. You've lost your job. You're getting a divorce. Your plumbing's leaking. And so he's going to say, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to get her down, we're going to get ourselves on the road, we're going to balance everything out. This card rules balance, just like temperance. The Tower, however, is the breakdown of a false illusion. Just like the towers thought they were safe, bin Laden couldn't touch them. That they didn't bother to upgrade after the first attack. That is literally, 9/11 is the perfect example of the tower. It's something false. It's a false truth. It's an illusion that is broken down. You thought you had a great marriage. And come to find out he's with his secretary. You thought your job was safe. When I became a teacher, I thought I would die at my desk. Oh no, the governor of Ohio said no businesses in the classes. So all business classes shut down. And so that's the tower experience. What you thought was going to be okay simply is not. It's a rude awakening. Most of the time, it's something horrible going to happen, but it can, with good cards, it can mean a breakthrough. The Chariot does rule the sevens, and the sevens are review and reevaluation. The Seven of Wands is a get up and do it card. There's no sitting down on that. He has his stick. He's very active. It's the action card. Whereas the Nine of Wands is very similar, except he's sitting down. So he's thinking about it as a nine. Here, he's doing it. If you want something done right, you do it yourself. Also, this card is you're being challenged. People are coming against you. They don't agree with you. So here you have to prove yourself. But you have the position of advantage. You're going to win. This is a winning card. Seven of Cups. I call this my ADD card. You're confused. You have no idea what cup to pick. You don't know what your purpose is. You don't know what you're here to do. There's too many things that you could choose from. You know, with this card, you know, I used to get it with Amlan all the time. And I'm like, man, just pick a cup and get on with it. And so, you know, this is being scattered. And remember, this is the antithesis to the Magician, who's all about focus, concentration, and harnessed energy. And so if you get the Seven of Cups in particular with the Magician, it means he's scattered. He's not focused. And if you're not focused, then you're not going to be able to manifest. You're being too wishy-washy. You change your mind all the time. This is also a card very similar to the Six of Cups. Too much pleasure, too much pot, too much of a good thing, basically. The Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords goes right along with that Five of Swords. The Seven of Swords is, number one, is the lone wolf card. You're going to be on your own. You took all the swords. You're on your own. Ain't nobody helping you. Ain't nobody going to come and fix you. Ain't nobody coming. You're on your own. It is a stress card, a mental stress card. You're overthinking, overanalyzing, you're mentally grinding, you are negatively obsessing about a situation. It is also being a victim. You've been fooled, you've been taken advantage of, you've been scammed. So the Seven of Swords is, once again, not a good card. The only good card out of this is that it's freedom. You're on your own. The Seven of Pentacles is reviewing your financial situation. Do you have a financial plan? You have X amount of money. How can you make your money grow? And that's what he's doing. I've got Seven Pentacles. I really want the Nine of Pentacles. What do I need to do to get to the 9 and 10 of Pentacles? And so a lot of times with the Seven of Pentacles, you'll seek out financial advisement. You'll go to the bank. You'll see how to get some extra money into your household. It is a card of budgeting. It's a card of realizing that you have enough, but you want more. And so how do you grow your money? Any questions on the sevens? Review and reevaluation. Any questions?
No questions.
Okay. All right, and then we have the strength card. I don't know what happened here. They're all messed up. Okay. All right, the strength card is your inner strength. The Chariot is outer strength, but the Strength card can also be your body and your physical strength too. If it means your body and physical strength, you'll get it with the Seven of Pentacles, Queen or King of Pentacles, and Nine of Pentacles. Or a Seven of Wands too. Those are all exercise and physical body cards. But the Strength card, remember I gave you a paper with this. Your spiritual core, living your life from integrity, truth, honesty, respect, loving kindness, compassion, boundaries, and generosity. Your spiritual core. It's also having confidence. It's also having positive self-esteem. It is also ruled with a star. Not going to let me have these cards. Huh. See if I can get that up there. All right. I'll take that. Oh, shit. Okay. I don't know. Now I've done it. All right. The star is my favorite card. It's to have faith. It is you're rescued. The cavalry comes. It's very similar to Temperance, except she's stripped now. She doesn't even have feathers. She's like, I'm totally transparent. You know, everything's going to be fine. This is a yes card. God's yes card. You're on the right path. You're doing the right thing. The Eight of Wands. Let's see if I can get that somewhere. The Eight of Wands is fast communication, very fast. So it has to do with the computer. Okay, it's also finishing projects, wrapping up. On this card, it just has wands. You can't tell if these wands are coming or going. But in the herbal deck, it has you pruning a tree. And so your goal is to get to that one wand. And so this is eliminating things and eliminating obstacles, getting things done. It also rules very fast communication. The Eight of Cups is here somewhere. Oh, geez. Okay. The Eight of Cups, remember, is the lone figure. They put the cup on the shore and they're in a boat rowing away from shore. The Eight of Cups is emotional detachment. You had the cup. You had the situation. It ended up not being what you thought it was going to be. You got promoted. You thought it would be a great job, but the people were nasty. And so you're leaving the job because it's no longer fulfilling for you. You've been in a 20-year relationship. It's no longer fulfilling for you. So you're emotionally detaching and you're thinking about leaving. It's also a travel card. The Eight of Swords plus the Strength card is lack of self-confidence. And I get those two a lot in my readings for people. The Eight of Swords is being stuck and she doesn't know how to get out of it. But the thing is that she can walk out of it, but she has to walk through the emotion. So she has to be willing to go through the emotion, feel the emotion, and understand why she's mentally imprisoning herself. These are self-defeating, self-negative talks and thoughts that she's thinking over and over and over again. It's a card of being stuck in a miserable marriage, but you don't want to hurt your husband. He's the breadwinner, so you don't want to lose the income, so you're just going to stay and be miserable. This is also the victim card. I'm a victim of my own circumstances. I'm a victim of my own thinking. The Eight of Pentacles is full-time work while you are learning. So I call this my worker bee card. It's the person who has chosen to settle for mundane employment, or they don't want to step up. They don't want responsibilities. They just want to work. They're working for the paycheck. There's actually no emotional or self-satisfaction investment. So it's a worker bee card. Okay, eights are pretty self-clear, I think. And then the nines. The Hermit rules the nines, of course. And the Hermit is the alone card. He is not in relationship. He's not. And I think God says, no relationship for you, little girl. Instead, you need to spend time with me. There's something you need to learn. There's something we need to do together. And I don't want any distractions. I don't want any contamination. It's me and you. And we all go. It is learning something spiritual in order for you to share it with others. This is a way shower. This is a person who's considered very wise. A higher authority, but he is alone. And of course, the moon is a card that it means like 30 different things. So the first thing it rules is confusion. You get it in your reading and you just go, oh, well, however it turns out, it turns out. If you get the moon, it means facts are missing. It can also mean astrology. What sign is the moon in? It can mean your shadow side, whereas the Chariot is working with daytime fears. This moon is working with those deep, wounded psychological wounds, codependency, avoidant retardant, borderline personality disorder. You know, we're seeing this in the Johnny Depp Heard case. We're seeing just really how messed up folks can be. The moon is also psychic emotion, meditating to receive psychic energy and psychic messages. So when you get the moon, you're like, oh, great. What does this mean? No, it really can be determined by the cards around it. With the Eight of Swords, going back to that Eight of Swords, which is lack of self-confidence and lack of self-love, the moon can really show some really serious codependency and really, you know, working on you're not good enough. The Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands, he's not active like the Seven of Wands. He's thinking about it. This is the procrastination card. It rules a month, 28 days. All nines rule 28 days, except for the Nine of Pentacles, which can rule 9 months. The Nine of Wands can rule 9 months as well, because it's a procrastination card. And it's also, you know, he's got a bandage on his head. So he's been wounded, he's been hurt in his past. So he's thinking about it. He's not going to be rushing into it like a Knight of Swords or the Seven of Wands. He's going to be thinking, okay, how do I cut my losses? How do I turn this possible negativity into a win? This and the Four of Swords are your physical vitamin deficiency cards. The Nine of Wands, he's tired. The Nine of Cups is happy, happy, joy, joy. There's no negativity here. The only thing is that, you know, with its reversed, all the cups empty out. And so you need to be in gratitude. But this is called your wish card. Make a wish. The cups are empty. So what are you wishing for? The Nine of Swords, as opposed to the Ten of Swords where the swords are in them, the Nine of Swords are above the person. So it's in their head. You're worrying about something. You're projecting, doing negative projection. You're thinking he's cheating on you. You're thinking they're gossiping about you. You're thinking you've got cancer. It's this obsessive worrying card. It's not real until the Ten of Swords. Or if you get the Nine of Swords and the Five of Pentacles, that nasty five, then it's real. Your worst fears come to reality. So the Nine of Swords is fear thinking. You're suffering anxiety, you're in fears, you're projecting. That's why the moon, you get the moon with the Nine of Swords. I mean, you're going deep with this stuff. You're really getting very dark. You may be having even suicidal thoughts. The Nine of Pentacles is one of my favorite cards. It is the single female on her own. I always say, if you don't give me the love, then give me the money. All right, and so this is that card. She's been given the money. She's on her own. She's self-sufficient. She's abundant, and so she gets to do shopping therapy. She has her own home. She herself is decorated, and her home is decorated, and she's living in great abundance and potential and possibility and gratitude. This is a card of I have arrived. I'm going to be just fine on my own. For instance, you're in a relationship and you're thinking about leaving. And so you're worried about finances. Now that would be that the Nine of Swords and Four of Pentacles. But if you get the Nine of Pentacles, that Nine of Pentacles is saying, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Just do it. You're going to be all right. You'll be able to stand on your own. You'll be self-sufficient. And so these are all the cards. These are the 78 cards in your deck now. So you've had them all. The aces, remember, are new beginnings. The twos are choices and decisions and inclusions. The threes are expansion. The fours are stability and security and space holders. The fives are your challenging cards, test of faith. Your sixes are rescue and temporary. The sevens are review and reevaluation. The eight is, get the hell out of me, what the eights are. Stability, they are stability, but the Eight of Swords isn't. I don't know what they are. Come think about it. Whereas the nines are completion and endings. I'll have to give those eights a thought. That's crazy. I don't know that I've ever given them a name. So the nines are completion. Tens, remember, are completion plus the next level. So there you have it. Now, next week, I have no idea what week we are in. I can make some combination of cards and kind of go over that with you. So, you know, I need to hear from you more, everybody. I don't know what you're doing. You're not talking to me. You're not keeping me up to date. You don't ask me any questions. I don't know if you're watching. I don't know what you're doing. So you're the least communicating group I have had, and I don't know what to do with you. So I am going to tell you good night. So I'm going to stop the recording so that okay, hang in there. So I love you all. Please get in contact with me. Give me feedback. Let me know how I can help you. So you have a good week.